People of the realm, go to your maester and receive the raven. Break the wax seal and accept your invitation. You have been called to war. The Battle of Bastards is almost here, so bring your sharpest weapons with you and come witness the Snowbowl. Bastards versus bastards. However you may wish to spin it, Ramsay Bolton is still a Snow. But wait, one cotton picking minute, a royal decree is what legitimised him. And that's true. Tommen may be a few things. He's kind, he's honest, he's a lover of kittens. But above all things, he is a bastard. So would a royal decree mean anything if that was ever proven? I mean, after all, don't kings give decrees out like whims? They're merely a gifted title, a gifted choice that can always be removed. It doesn't hide the blood, and this blood is bastard born. Jon Snow and Sansa Stark were last seen camping in Stannis' old stomping grounds. He's had a merry old time there. The sellswords left, Shireen was burned alive, Cersei hung herself, and let's not forget the military genius that allowed Ramsay and his 10 good men to sneak into an unguarded camp and run amok with a box of matches. Now I really hope that Jon and Sansa actually have camp guards, and by that I don't mean Renly's rainbow guards, I actually mean sentries, people who are actually keeping watch on the camp, because if they do that, it actually makes them at least 1,000 times better than one of the greatest commanders in Westerosi history, and that's Stannis. And it's mind-boggling, what was that man thinking? Expect the next episode to begin near Winterfell with a parley of sorts, where the bastards will no doubt threaten each other, and Jon clearly will challenge Ramsay to a one-on-one. And of course Ramsay will be a dick, as we all know he is, and say no. Now this is where I would expect Rickon to come into play. Now I want this kid to live, I want him to grow up and become the king of the north, but he's probably gonna die. Probably a well-placed arrow whilst he's being told to walk to Jon as a sign of goodwill. Now if we take this to one further extreme, maybe we might see a repeat of what actually happened to Robb. Shaggy Dog's head is already in Ramsay's possession. Perhaps he's going to attach it to Rickon's dead body. Now wouldn't that just be sick, and just the sort of thing we would expect Ramsay to do? So let the battle begin. Clearly the odds are in the favour of the Bolton forces, who have a well-organised, drilled military force. Now they're up against some Homewood's 62 Mormont men, and hopefully 8,000 Mormont women. There's also wilding berserkers that'll make up the ranks also. But would someone like Wunwun make the difference? After all, he's effectively a medieval version of a tank, and I very much doubt that any of the Bolton forces will have seen a giant, so he's got that shock factor as well. I'm pretty sure he's going to be squishing some Bolton brains sometime soon, but I also think that is going to paint a big target on him for the Bolton archers. I do hope he lives. We haven't seen many giants, so he's possibly the last of the giants. We'll see how things play out. Come on, Wunwun, you can make it. So this brings about a very good question. Will the Starkling forces be fighting alone? Well, I for one think at the start they will be, but we all know that someone is going to be turning up, and I'm not talking the army of Peter Bloody Baelish. Now both Brienne and Pods and the Brotherhoods Without Banners have all made mention of their intentions to head north. Now unless they manage to borrow Peter Baelish's private jet and get to the battle scene in impossible time, I don't know what sort of difference that's going to make. Now we know Brienne has failed in a mission to bring back the idiot fish, so what good would she actually be? What forces would she bring with her? Well, She'd probably arrive late, but maybe it's just going to be in time to help Sansa. As for the Brotherhood themselves, they have mentioned about heading north. I do find it odd that we have been teased for a little bit of time now about a possible Stoneheart appearance, and that didn't happen. We were all immensely disappointed. As much as we love Beric Dondarrion, we were hoping for Stoneheart. But the question is, why? Why has Beric been brought back at this precise time? And one of my subscribers, Stephen Jones, has commented on this fact. He believes that Beric has been brought back to arrive at the battle scene and provide R'hllor's kiss to someone. If you're unfamiliar what R'hllor's kiss or R'hllor's breath actually is, well, it's essentially what Mel did to Jon, minus the actual tonguing. Plus, we all know, it wasn't Mel at all, it was the power of Davos Fingerbang Seaworth and the magical finger bones that hang around his neck. That's what brought Jon back, we know this. I'm kidding, that's a joke. Do not go looking for a theory, because that's going to be my next video. In fact, next video, the magic of Davos's fingers. Yeah, that sounded weird. So it's pretty much a given that in the next episode, someone will die. Well, I'm guessing a lot of bloody people will die. It's going to be a massive battle after all. Now, in terms of main characters, that doesn't actually mean it's going to be Jon or Ramsay that fall. Other characters are in danger too. Don't forget we've got Sansa and Rickon from Team Stark. There's also Tormund, Davos and Mel to worry about. The favourites are obviously going to be Ramsay, who people will love to see get cut in half by a certain Valyrian steel sword, and Rickon is also fairly high on the kill list, but part of me thinks that it'll be a main character that's a goner, and seeing as Rickon hasn't spoken since, well, forever, can we really count him as a main character? So in closing, here's how I think the battle will go. Here's how I hope it will go anyway. Whether the writers have done this, I don't know. The two sides meet outside of Winterfell and immediately Team Starkling see the flayed men in front of Ramsay's army. And there's some recognition there. Davos knows these men. Possibly it's some of the people who fled from Stannis' army or some of the survivors from the previous battle who Ramsay is held in the deepest dungeons in Winterfell. Popular theory is that one of these people may very well be Rickon. Let's not let that happen. So, as mentioned before, a white flag will be hoisted up just like Ros's skirt, and a staring contest will then ensue. The battle begins. Team Starkling, they do okay to begin with. The shock troops that are the wildlings will hold their own, and 1-1 will make the impact that we expect him to make. In fact, I think he's going to make so much of an impact that the Bolton forces are going to utter a famous line from Jaws. We're going to need a bigger cross. The tide of battle will then turn in favour of the Boltons, as we see by that shield wall picture pushing the wildling forces back. Then, when all hope is lost, a horn will sound. Reinforcements announced, but for who? Well, for Team Starkling, of course. Now, while people might be expecting it to be Peter Baelish in the Vale answering Sansa's call, I hope this isn't what's going to happen. I actually hope this is Small John Umber prompting his men to turn on Ramsay. And why would he do this? Well, remember in the episode, Small John Umber would not kneel to Ramsay. He would not make any promises. He would not swear any oaths of allegiance. He's already sworn to Rickon. He's already sworn to the Starks. Now Ramsay is going to find his forces encircled, they will be dwindled down in number, and finally we'll get the one-on-one battle that we've been waiting for, the one that Jon asked before the battle even begun. And then Ramsay is going to lie dead at the feet of, wait for it, Sansa. I get the feeling Sansa is going to stick the knife in Ramsay, save Jon's life. Now personally, I don't know what's going to happen. This video is just merely describing what I would like to happen, minus the Great Northern Conspiracy finally revealing itself and the Mandalays to finally turn up. I mean, will Beric turn up as well? I'm not sure if there's time, but then again, does time really matter for R'hllor's gift? I'd like to see Baelish turn up elsewhere, surprise us all, and attack the twins. Now don't forget as well, Walder and the majority of his boys are all going to be down in Riverrun having a merry old feast. After last week's letdown of an episode, I'm looking forward to this week's, and I feel the story arc that's currently going on with Snowbowl and the Faith Militant, I feel like it's had a lot of the writer's attention and it's been at a detriment to the rest of the show. So the fires of Theory grow cold for now, so gather your furs, saddle your horses, but leave your women, for I am the Northlander, but remember, you know nothing and neither do I. I'd also like to say a quick welcome to every new subscriber who's joined us in the past few weeks and thank everyone for their support.